Law enforcement fights crime in our neighborhoods. The eyes and ears of the community can prove vital in these efforts. Stay vigilant. Your tip could crack the next case. This is a KLFY Plus exclusive. Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome to this week's edition of Acadiana Crimestoppers, a show which partners law enforcement and community to help solve and prevent crime on our streets. In this episode, we will cover the crime of the week parish by parish. We'll also talk Lafayette Parish's Most Wanted with Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas, and St. Martin Parish Sheriff Beckett Bro gives us an update on the Iris Davis case while asking for your help solving the teen's murder. We begin in Acadia Parish, where sheriff's detectives are investigating the felony theft of construction equipment. It happened sometime between January 16th and 19th in the 6,000 block of Egan Highway west of Crawley. Investigators say the unknown suspect or suspects broke a hitch lock before stealing a flatbed utility trailer. The trailer is black in color, containing a yellow 2024 Caterpillar 265 skid steer with a black bucket attachment. The loss is valued around $110,000. If you have any information regarding this crime, you're urged to call the TIPS line at 337-789-TIPS or download the P3 app. Iberia Parish authorities are asking for your help identifying the suspects accused of taking a Coca-Cola vending machine in front of a fire station. Sheriff's deputies responded January 20th to the reported theft in the 5100 block of Avery Island Road in New Iberia right before 11:30 in the evening. The deputies say two men were seen arriving in a white Chevy Silverado. The suspects backed the vehicle up to the vending machine in front of the fire station, loaded the vending machine into the bed of the truck, and then fled the area. If you have any information related to this case, please contact the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office at 369-3711. You may also submit an anonymous tip through the Iberia Parish Sheriff's Office mobile app. The Jennings Police Department is asking for the public's help solving a recent vehicle burglary. Authorities are looking for the person of interest captured here in connection with a break-in that happened during the early morning hours of January 19th. Police are reminding residents to keep their vehicles locked and secured at all times. Anyone with information is urged to contact Jennings Police. Neighborhood watch programs are one method authorities use to help solve crime. We explain how they work in today's St. Landry Crimestoppers report.
You're watching St. Landry Crimestoppers.
This week, Captain Lynette Chavis comes to Crimestoppers to explain the Neighborhood Watch program.
The purpose of the Neighborhood Watch Group is to promote community safety. They reduce crimes by encouraging residents to be more observant, proactive in preventing and reporting suspicious activities. These goals are accomplished through education, awareness, and cooperation with local law enforcement. Neighborhood watch groups also adapt a sense of community and mutual support among neighbors. To join or form a neighborhood watch group, download the St. Landry Sheriff app or call 337-948-6516, extension 3111.
Neighborhood watch groups work with St. Landry Crimestoppers to report information on criminal activity. Dial **TIPS on your mobile device or download our P3 app and tap the app and say it here to submit your anonymous tips. On behalf of the St. Landry Crimestoppers Board, Captain Lynette Chavis, the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Bobby J. Guitros, thank you and have a blessed day.
If you have any information on this crime, call Crimestoppers at 948-TIPS. You could earn up to a $2,500 cash reward.
Lafayette Crimestoppers and the Lafayette Police Department are looking for your help identifying the people connected to a theft. The theft happened Sunday, December 28th at 3225 Louisiana Avenue. According to police, the suspects took a purse out of a shopping cart and did not turn it in to an employee. Instead, they left the store in an unknown white SUV and fled the scene. If you know the identity of the suspects, call Lafayette Crimestoppers at 232-TIPS or download the P3 TIPS mobile app. The Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office is also asking for your help locating two suspects wanted in a joint narcotics investigation with St. Landry Parish. Devin Baptiste and Paige Thomas are wanted for possession with intent to distribute meth. Baptiste also faces charges for fleeing police after refusing a traffic stop Thursday night, during which agents recovered more than 2 pounds of meth. Thomas is also wanted for obstruction of justice. Arrest warrants are out for both. Authorities in Lafayette are looking for some fugitives wanted for OWI, domestic violence, among other offenses. That's why we've invited Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas back. Of course, everyone knows you. You're a fixture on our show and have been for a year. And we love the Most Wanted segment with you. So we appreciate you continuing to do this.
And again, thank you again. I tell everybody, because it works, I will always come back.
Yeah.
And it does work. We are making more arrests than ever before. And a lot is to do with this show.
That's awesome. Well, without further ado, let's go right into it.
Let's go.
Regan James Butte, OWI first offense, committed in Lafayette, and he failed to appear to pay the fine. So now there's a warrant out.
And we talk about this all the time. If you're arrested for OWI, you get a court date. A lot of times people come to the first court date and then they get a second date to appear and they don't appear. Or it's some type of fine that that's given to you. And then you come back to court and you don't have the fine, or you don't come back to court. It's very serious. OWIs are very serious. It's not something that we can just not come back to court because we have other things to do. You have to respect the court. So that's why I like this show so much. It actually makes people realize that, look, if you're not going to come to court, then you're going to be put on this show, and the warrant team will be out there and you will be arrested.
Yeah, well, OWI, like you said, it's very serious, because not only are you endangering yourself behind the wheel, but you're endangering everyone else on the road that comes in contact with you.
And I talk about that each and every week, because everybody knows someone who's been involved in an accident, someone who maybe was even killed in an accident, or a family member that was very seriously injured in an accident. And it was because somebody was drunk driving. Yeah. So we want to get these people off the road. So that's why when you get arrested for an OWI, it's time to come to court, it's time to talk to the judge. And a lot of times people just do not show up for court. And we won't tolerate that. So we're asking the community, when you see somebody up here and you know this person, to contact my office, and we will come out and we will bring that person back to justice.
Absolutely. So here's our second person, Kendall Kashawn Bernard. Another OWI charge committed in Lafayette, and he failed to appear to pay the fine. So just like the last one, another OWI, and he didn't pay the fine.
You know, it's very important that you show up for court. And this is mostly what this segment is about. It's about telling people to handle your business. Do the things what you're supposed to do. You was wrong, you know, you was arrested on an OWI case. Now it's time to face the judge. And when you don't do that, then we have to come and we have to pick you up. With the help of this community and the calls that we get, telling us the location of this person. And a lot of times the person turn themselves in, because, you know, we're not saying that people are bad people or anything like that. We're just saying be responsible. And sometimes your parent or someone might see you on this show and they contact you and you contact my office and we clear the warrant. And that's what we want to do.
Yeah, because, I mean, it could, well, I know for sure it's probably embarrassing to have your face here on TV. You know, some are violent offenses.
Yes.
Some are things like OWI, which is a bad offense, but it's something that you just have to clear up. If you have to pay a fine, you pay a fine. Whatever the judge gives down to you, you just have to take care of it. And if you're on this show, it's like you said, they didn't take care of it. And that's how you end up here.
And that's the most important thing. Take care of your business. Be responsible for what takes place. Contact my agency if you see yourself on here, or if you see a friend, contact a friend, tell them contact our agency before we're knocking on your door and before we come into your place of business to arrest you.
All right, so the third person, Skylar Elizabeth Leger, domestic abuse battery, first offense, committed in Lafayette, and also arrested for aggravated assault. So she seems like she has a violent history here.
Yeah, I tell you all the time that anybody that I put on the show for domestic violence, a day, 2 days later, we are getting calls, because these are people that's probably still living in your neighborhood at your residence. You might see these people at the grocery store and everything else. Domestic violence cases are very serious. These are cases that you need to take care of your responsibilities. You was arrested on that particular day. It's time to come to court, and you did not show up for court. So now you're on this show. OWI's domestic violence I take very seriously. So when you see yourself up here, contact my agency. Come turn yourself in. Maybe you could get the warrant reset. You know, we just want to clear the warrant that you have, and you should want to clear the warrant up that you have.
Yeah. So the last person for this week, Brittany Lachey Woods, domestic abuse battery, first offense, committed that offense in Lafayette, and so probably didn't show up for court, I'm assuming. Again, did not show up for court. A domestic battery is very, you know, a lot of times it's normally with a family member, it's with a spouse or something like that, and the problem could have been solved, but you still have to go to court. You still was arrested on that day. So contact the agency. I always tell you, 337-291-8725 is the marshal's number. Remember, it's anonymous. Yeah. You can see somebody on here and you can say, oh, I know this person, or I saw this person today, I know where this person at. You don't have to give your name or anything. You contact us, let us know where that person is at, and we'll bring that person in. You know, it's about clearing these warrants up. It's about clearing your name up. It's very important. Yeah, and anonymous. That's a very important point to make there. And we do have some warrants that have been cleared. Sydney Cole, so that warrant has been cleared. I'm assuming she either turned herself in or someone saw her on this show or elsewhere, and she's been cleared. And that's why we use warrant cleared. A lot of times, you know, it's not that the person went to jail. It's that the person saw themselves and they contact the office and maybe paid a fine, maybe turned themselves in and got a court date reset. Yeah. You know, it could be many things, and it also can be the person was arrested and was put into jail, the jail system. So, you know, when we see someone's warrant cleared, that person should think to themselves that, okay, I got that off my back. I don't have to worry about that. I handle my responsibilities. It's time for me to move on. And that's what it's all about. Yeah, and the warrant's cleared, so unless she commits another offense, she'll never be a guest again on our show. There you go, and that's what we want. And we have Amion Jamar Francis. His warrant has been cleared as well. Is that second person, another warrant cleared. Again, when we put warrant cleared, it could be cleared in many different ways. You know, we just want that person, because, you know, you got to think about this. When you stop for a traffic ticket or anything else and they run your name, then the warrant is going to come up and you will be arrested. So why not clear up the warrant? Why not not worry about looking behind your back or worried about anything? So that's why I tell people all the time, you know, some people say, well, I didn't have all the money. Well, contact us. You know, it might could get reset. It's so many other things that can happen instead of running from the law. So if you learn anything from this show, it's not to run from the law, else your picture gonna appear up on Reggie's Marshall's Muscle. Oh yeah, you don't want to be there. Don't want to be there for sure. We enjoy having you here so much, Reggie, and it's working. Warrants are being cleared, and we are glad to be a part of that, and we hope you continue to come here every week on Acadiana Crimestoppers. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for having me. We'll be back.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
In St. Martin Parish, it's been more than 6 months since the body of 16-year-old Iris Davis was found. Investigators for St. Martinville Police, St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office, and Louisiana State Police are actively working the case. We get an update from St. Martin Parish Sheriff Beckett Bro as he takes us back to the scene.
An innocent person, 16-year-old child that got killed and had a life ahead of her that got killed by someone.
Iris Davis was officially reported missing on July 17, 2025. A few days later, her body was located and her death was ruled a homicide. St. Martinville Police initiated the investigation, but more than 6 months later, the St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Office and Louisiana State Police are also assisting.
As much resources we can put together, that's what we want to do, is put our resources together and be able to find the individual responsible for this.
St. Martin Parish Sheriff Beckett Bro takes us to the location where Davis's body was found.
A 16-year-old child that lost her life. And where we're standing right here, Trevor, is within feet of where she was murdered.
The investigation has had updates, with multiple people arrested, but no one has yet to be charged with her murder. The St. Martinville Police Department arrested Davis's grandparents, Eugene and Grace Taylor, back in August of last year on contributing to the delinquency of a minor and cruelty to juvenile charges. The St. Martinville Police Department arrested the grandparents, but that was unrelated to her murder, correct?
That's correct.
Also arrested were Desmond Flugents and Darren Francis for carnal knowledge of a juvenile. Sheriff Bro confirmed these charges stemmed from evidence recovered during the course of the investigation. However, he did not elaborate further on if these charges were tied to her murder.
There's people of interest that we're looking at, and like I said, sooner or later, those individuals or that individual will come to justice.
Sheriff Bro acknowledges the anxiety of the public as the community awaits justice for Iris.
The wheels of justice never moves as fast as we'd like.
But explains investigators do not release everything to the public, ensuring the investigation doesn't get compromised.
There's information that we, don't always give to the public because there's certain things that we know, and if it comes out, we know that only the person that would know that would be the individual at the crime scene.
But he wants to assure the public they are very close.
We believe we're really close because we got the clothes, and like I said, we're doing DNA on items that were picked up at the scene.
Sheriff Bro says he has taken this case personally and won't rest until justice is served. He is asking the public for help and tips to St. Martin Parish Crime Stoppers.
Working together to make a difference. Trevor, that's what we try to do. We work together, and the only way we can solve this crime is having the public, working with law enforcement to be able to help us and put us in the right direction.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Estherwood Police need your help finding a stolen aluminum flat-bottom boat. The boat was taken from private property near the post office on the Canal Bank. If you've seen this boat, know where it's headed, or recognize someone who suddenly thinks they're a boat owner without the paperwork, reach out to Estherwood Police. Also in Estherwood, police are looking for a suspect accused of taking items from the Dollar General store. The shopper was last seen around 8:40 p.m. driving what appears to be a mid-2000s GMC Chevrolet 1500 pickup, possibly tan or golden color. If you recognize the person or the vehicle looks familiar, contact Estherwood Police. Acadia Parish Sheriff's officials are issuing a scam alert for residents. People are receiving calls for either missing court, failing to appear for jury duty, or regarding incarcerated persons needing ankle monitors. However, authorities say they are scams. Before sending money, officials say confirm with your local law enforcement agency to ensure that a call you received is legitimate.
This is a KLFY Plus exclusive, Acadiana Crimestoppers.
Welcome back. Our partnership with law enforcement continues next week. Join us as we show you more wanted fugitives throughout Acadiana. Lafayette City Marshal Reggie Thomas will be with us once again. We'll see what other suspects he is looking for. We appreciate you tuning in to Acadiana Crime Stoppers exclusively on KLFY+. We will be back next week detailing the latest crimes to be solved and perps to bring to justice.